Alright, I'm here with my sous chef Isaac Holland. This is Chef Brent. Uh, Today we're going to do the filet mignon, well, filet tenderloin. We're going to trim it, and Isaac's going to show you how to do it.
First, I'll start by cutting right here. And then I'll take my fingers, rub across the tail right here. And you can work most of it down. And then what I do, I pull it, kind of break it apart. And I start trim down here and work my way up.
Now you can use this scraps and stock, but that's probably about it.
And then we'll discard of this. And then I like to start, flip it over, and then we'll take these notches out because these notches will be really tough to eat on.
They got silver skin all lined in the notches. Silver skin is the thing that you don't ever want on any of your meat.
Next, I'll trim this end piece off. And then take this little fat chunk out. While you're trimming the fat, you want to make sure you don't pierce the meat and take off too much meat, or then you're losing a lot of meat.
But you see, it's a tedious job. Try to get as much of the stuff you don't want to use off of there.
And then if you see any like fat spots right here that are sticking out, you want to trim those off as well. They're going to be tough as well because it's a hard fat. It won't render down as well. Right now, I'm just peeling off the extra membrane, and then I'm going to trim the silver skin off.
Silver skin, if you leave that on, you'd be like chewing it like bubble gum and never really getting anywhere.
I'm going to slightly poke the hole underneath and then work my knife through it, and then you want to turn your knife slightly upward so you're riding against the silver skin, so you're not cutting deep into the meat and losing product.
And he's going a little slower than normal just because so you can see it better. Obviously, if we took this long on each one, we would never get done.
when you get to this little part right here, you kind of want to cut at a V and just work your way around this little notch of silver skin because it goes deep into the thing.
Move your hand for a minute. We can't see it. Move it around a little bit so they can see what you're talking about. So yeah, so it's like a deep part of the silver skin goes down into the meat, so you gotta get that out of there. Ah. Never claimed to be a professional cameraman, so.
And then I'm just going to trim this last little bit that I missed, and then we'll be ready to fillet it.
Typically you do miss a little bit because you're trying to not get much of the meat with it, so you'll leave little slivers. So that meat that he threw away, you could either discard it or make stock out of it. It's not edible to actually eat.
So now I'll cut this little part of the tail off. We are going to use this. This is what will turn into our beef tips. It's just, it wouldn't be good for a filet mignon.
We shoot for 7 ounces on our filet.
And then I'll just butterfly this open.
Real tall ones we butterfly, and we'll use those normally for mid-whales or whales. See the marbling in that meat, it's beautiful.
And then right here where it's starting to meet together, I'll just pick right where it meets and cut it all off. And then we'll turn this into beef tips as well. And then this part we can also make into the fillets.
I will say, for me as a chef in the last few years, especially with me upgrading all of our quality of meat, I just continue to make it better quality. What I love to see in all the meats is the marbling. It's pretty awesome. I guess, I don't know if you gotta have a passion for that, but it's definitely something that makes me smile.
Right now I'm just trimming those excess parts up into the beef tips that we'll use.
So when you get filet mignon with mushroom demi-glace beef tips here, this is seriously what you're getting. You're getting full filet. It helps us to not waste any meat, but also gives better product for a beef tip. Just gonna trim off stuff that's not usable, because even in your beef tips we don't want you to get a tough spot.
And then we'll just weigh these out to 5 ounces. And that'll be your portion for dinner time.
We do 5 ounce meat and about 1 ounce of mushroom, so it's about 6 ounces of product in your beef tips. All right, Isaac, thank you for showing them it.
That's a fillet.